DAATH. There are only a few videos here in DAATH. I need to like fix this. So you see how 5 months later, it's sometimes just nicer without anything. 5 months later, my hair is intact. DAATH. I don't know if this is the appropriate gear for DAATH. It's barely appropriate for his said or she said. So, man, are we running behind? But we're not. There are like secret teachings and like pieces of the puzzle that come together when we rearrange Kabbalah like this. So we've gotten a few of the Ravenclaw classes done. A few. We're like Gryffindor egg part 4, the personal egg. So like there are things to have been done. The Yoda Balls classes are going to be all year long. We're just building up the entire platform for the planet to ascend. That's mostly the important part of all of it. So, do you see how unimpressed with myself I am? By the fact that I can just wipe out 1 billion people with one Facebook post? It's sad. It's demeaning and sad. Like the people that are getting confessed right now. Like, I only have 1 confessor dragon, like, up and running, okay? I have a tribe. I have a tribe of over 100 confessor dragons, just so we understand. I am a Hyote and a High Seraphim, okay? Like, nobody's gonna come on the planet and go, I'm Archangel Kamael, without being a Hyote. Okay, so I am a Hyote. I have like 30 lifetimes, 30 at least, on other planets being a confessor. And where I'm like, I'm used to mass confessions. Like, I'm used to it. I've never done it to the extent that I've done it on this planet. 0. I've also never been a confessor on an ascending planet. At all. So normally it's like, don't put the cart before the horse. Like, I don't have those powers yet on ascending planets usually. So what my 5 months of knife rape torture that I've endured 0 times on any planet. From my own lineage. Mind blown. They had literally stooped to a level that is just... So, you know what? Like the second I got my confessor grid up, boom, boom, boom. And then all the astral energy just fades away. And I only have 1 confessor dragon, like, up and working. 1 out of my 100. And, like, it usually takes about 30 years to get the confessor dragons gridded properly on a planet. So we know that it's working. I already saw my first confessed person today. It looked like they were beat down with like a shoe. It's gonna manifest. It manifests differently on like every planet. Every planet. Sometimes it will manifest where they have like milky blue eyes. Their skin tone goes icky. It's also referred to as moon blinked. Even Simon got that download. It's not uncommon. Like this is a norm. They go so evil in the physical and astral planes for ascended planets. So we've never seen it on this planet before because we were in an evil planet. But on ascended planets, that the lumos, the luma quality takes them out. So it rewrites the Yesod imprint to go like, you have no individuality anymore. You are now stamped of God. So now God has wiped out all of your Akashic records. And now the moon now controls you. So now you're a confessed person. So where, like let's say Star is forcing me to channel her. And she goes, I am you. I am you. You. Like, I'm allowed to pop into your body whenever I want to. I am you, you know? So I send the 2 to 3 months of emails asking for anything, independence grids, anything, right? Just no response, nothing. Video, nothing, no response. My spirit overtakes her criminal astral body and then wipes it. So now, because she has no Yesod, because I have now wiped it, she has no access to the tree. She has no access to ascending into the God form. She is now a wiped person or a confessed person. So her soul body is gone. It's heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking. When I first start confessing people, the first few, it's like I'm trying to save these people and they continue to act like criminals. And what eventually happens is that my emotions just go, confess. Like, it's in mine because I'm the mother confessor. But so Kelly and Isla and anybody who trains with us, they'll actually have to do physical touching. But my grids are so strong. It's just in my leg. What I want. I actually have to write grids to protect the dragons and like animal species. And like I don't want to be confessing snakes just because it pisses me off, you know? Like, so there are those components, but like, it's intense. So this is a high level Jesus magic. Now, only women are ever going to get it. Not trans, not middle sex, nothing. Just women. Because you have to be in 100% feminine energy and mindset, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. So it's got to be in the biology, 100%. So, because what you're doing is you're sucking. This is not like Avatar: The Last Airbender, where you take their power and muggle charm them. No. You're taking their soul for infinity and going, gone. And then we have to write them books. So DAATH is death, but it's like God's death. I'm so much a saint. I'm such a saint that even like doing this to me in the astral plane confesses you. So don't shoot at me in the astral plane. So I also have my protection list for the people I love. So and I can't write anybody in the lineage that's stabbing me or took my money or like supported. I can't, I can't cross God's boundaries, like the criminals just ain't going to be protected. But the people in this class, the Kabbalah 99 class, you guys got the grace key for a reason. So all the first ones on the protection list, and then my old friends and my old girlfriends, etc. All my niece's friends, everything, they're all on the protection list. So not like that. Here's the deal. The majority of people on the protection list don't really need it. Like it's that one teaching from Jesus. It's like those who have more. So it's like if you ended up on the white light magic template on Valentine's Day from me and Kelly, like you probably don't need to be on the protection list for Pearl, for the confessors, but like it protects you from the other confessors that might be coming down the road. Because that's the lineage. So this is a 20-year process where I have to be gritting up the dragons, and where I would do 7 to 10 to 15 worlds of egg grids and 75 pages for one of my dragons just to clean them up. I will be doing 1,600 pages and 100 worlds 100 worlds up and then 100 worlds down for the confessor dragons. And this is because when you're confessing somebody, you are going through every single inch and world of their existence. And then we have the alpha confessor dragons, which get 1,000 worlds up. And 1,000 worlds down. And there's just so much work. Oh, goody. But for the first week in my life, I don't hear Star telling me I'm a murderer every 5 seconds in my head while stabbing me. What an embarrassment. So, this is life. I have these grids, I have these rules that I'm like downloading, like these put a cork in the confessions. So I now have 2 can'ts. So I need to come up like I need, before I'd ever confess anybody, it's like, why can't I do it? Instead of why can I? Because I look around the planet and they're all just rapists. So I can't. And so like to me, they're all just criminals. And they litter everywhere and they're all just don't care. So it's just how many I need to come up with all the I can'ts for those people before I'd even come close to confessing them. And that's a really big statement. They also need to hit like 91% evil or higher, some of the blanket confessions. And then come July, that's going to be a wipeout. That's where we'll get the billion. Right now we're at about 2.5 million confessed. No, 5 million. Wait, no. Let me read. 250 confessed individuals on this planet. And that seems like nothing. But that's what happens on a planet where everyone ignores anything and everything that is positive, truthful, free, and honest, and then decides to indulge in lies and television and drama instead, while they continue to purchase and deteriorate a planet and rape it to death. So if I didn't become a confessor, Mother Earth would have, and it would have been the same thing, if not 1,000 times worse. So planets, I have this confession rule on planets that they're not allowed to be confessors because they would just wipe out everyone. And I have the respect and trust from Mother Earth where she doesn't fight me on it. So, anything else about confessions? Today I went to the oak tree, the blue people oak tree. Oh, and we have a new wand for my niece. I have to clean it up. But this is on the blue people tree, the blue people oak tree. It fell from it. And I was really excited because when you're collecting a wand from a tree that you're doing magic on all the time and working with and is your friend, it's special. Instead of finding random sticks on the ground, okay? So I have 2 oak trees that I love dearly. And one is the Peter Pan oak tree, and the other, not in James Barrie's house, not that one. It's the one that I would sit in front of the palace in the pond and piss on people while I was thinking about how to do this Kabbalah class. So I would get my downloads by sitting against this tree. So I call it the Peter Pan oak tree. It's the oak tree that I drew for this class. The other oak tree is the blue people oak tree. And this is down the Serpentine River. And it's special, and it's holding the Ascendio grid for the planet and everybody on it. So we do all the dimensions, and we do all the genomes, and we're cleaning up everybody, and we're cleaning up the astral planes on this oak tree. And we come up with some really interesting, fascinating magic. But one day, when I was sitting in front, or when I was coming to that oak tree, I saw all these kids, and they had their blue paint on their face, and I took a picture of them. So I refer to it as the blue people oak tree. So we also refer to it as the 8th house Nexa blue tree, the 8th house Nexa tree. And that's where we're doing all the magic for the Ascendio. So this wand is called Blue People 7 Cants Moonbeamer. So it's I have to come up with 7 cants for why I can't why I cannot confess somebody. And then instead of confessing them, I should just be turning them into a moonbeamer, which is somebody who can actually produce a Patronus charm. So what it looks like in the astral planes is it looks kind of like a moon blinked person. And so it's because it's the Luma energy. So it's that moon dust glow energy, but it's where they actually have the power to create a Patronus charm down the road. I don't know how long these genomes are going to take to manifest into the physical world. I'm just beginning with the genomes, and then we're going to look at 7 to 10 years down the line and see where we're at, but we still work from square one. But from the astral planes, it looks like they ascend into this light sphere, and it's unstable and it's crazy. And it looks insane, and it looks like they're about to get confessed, because the confessed person looks exactly the same. The only difference is the colors. So a confessed person has a lot more of this color in their aura, and it's like Khaleesi took over with her soul. So it's that. Where a moon blinked or a moonbeamer person is bright blue, like a Patronus charm, and then the earth element attaches to the third eye, and then they get like, I'm a moonbeamer. Now a confessor looks different. So a lot of people like Misty Copeland, I was really scared because she was like the color frequencies were coming in, and I'm like all angry and agitated. I'm like, I'm not confessing Misty Copeland. There's not one reason. I don't care if she doesn't speak to me. That's not a crime. So I'm like, why is she unstable, running in these colors like a confessed person? And then we turn her into a confessor or put her on the training list. And that's the difference, is that we're prepping them. It's confessor in training. And then it attaches another white stream of DNA down their thing. So it's like I'm not confessing people by accident. It's like I'm confessing them because they committed huge crimes. Huge. Against a lot of good, just decent humans. What else do I want to say? It's weird. It's weird that I have power now, apparently. It will manifest like nothing. So I was going to the oak tree today, and the oak tree goes, nobody wants to hear you swear. And I'm thinking, enough with the pun. Like, I'm just so tired of everyone, and just So nobody wants to hear you swear. It's peanuts compared to what you can really do. And I thought, oh my God, that's the best teaching on swearing and like irreverent, inappropriate behavior on the planet. It's peanuts compared to what you can really do. Yeah, like if I take out one swear word, I can come up with 4 different, more appropriate, more loquacious words. And, I think that would be lovely in the future. So, DAATH is all about the throat chakra. Gryffindor and Ravenclaw, I switched those up. Gryffindor and Ravenclaw. It's going to be really nice when we get rid of the Gryffindor and Ravenclaw, and we're just Seraphim and Hoshmalim. Because that's the real grid on this planet. But at DAATH, where we connect the dots. So this is where the higher intelligence comes in. So Stacy, it will not be a trained confessor, but Stacy is on the confessors in training list. So she's on that Pearl queue. But then there's Elaine, and that's the 6th house. that's another dot. So that is not the same as DAATH. what happened was I reached DAATH and then I got the magic. But it comes through DAATH. So it comes through the Archangel Ariel Nexa, which I am very gracefully attuned to. You have to be like an angel that would starve to death for whales. That would be an Archangel Ariel Nexa. Okay. So this is how I like to point it out. A real Archangel Metatron would be Archangel Kamael and Zadkiel. Okay, so there's a reason why it's like at the top of the tree, because it's the best. But the best wouldn't put a weaker Kamael at the head of the seraphim. The best would take the Kamael position and then get stabbed for 5 months, while another Metatron sits at the top of the tree and takes it easy. But make sure that the kids are okay while you're getting stabbed to death. So that's the difference. The same thing goes with Archangel Ariel Nexa. A real Kamael would be able to pass the Ariel Nexa if they're a woman. You have to be a woman to pass the Archangel Ariel Nexa. And that's the other deal. Not a trans, not a middle sex. Nope. A woman. A female. Fully. Genetically tested female. Biology matters in life. Sorry. So, now the Archangel Uriel Nexa, they're not the same, which is also another DAATH archangel. Now that's like the 5th house more so. So there are always secret components. Archangel Uriel Nexa is different than an Archangel Ariel. Archangel Ariel is like divine femme. It's like a Disney princess. The Archangel Uriel can be a little bit more punch. Now, an Archangel Ariel might not be tough like an Archangel Kamael. It might be like an Archangel Zadkiel. But it's got its own wings. Gabriel and Hesed are the hardest ones on the tree to master. You're facing fears, burning karma, going through crazy things all day long. When my Teresa Ibis, when the Ibis taught me Kabbalah, it was like, God rest in peace, Ibis. That's what I feel like. Anytime I'm mentioning Star and the Ibis, I'm just 5 years down the road, they're going to have milky glossed eyes and no brain because they couldn't stop committing crimes against me. Like idiots. They had to subscribe to their dogmas in the Matrix instead of just be nice and send me one email. Bizarre. Like a human. People confess themselves. Like at the end of the day, Kellyanne knows, you know. Anyway, so the Ibis is like, we don't want, if we're going to ascend you and you're going to quit. halfway through Kabbalah, quit at Tiferet, at Hufflepuff. Do not quit at Gebra and Hesed. That is hell. That's why we're like Kamail, like Kalima, hell, and then the god name for Hesed, or she said, is hell or El. So Geber and Hesed are the hardest. Geber is the hardest, and then Hesed's the next hardest. So once you get to DAATH, it's not hard. then if you get confessor abilities, man. Obliviate. So the spell Obliviate is kind of like a confession, but it's not. Everybody needs to know that. It's one thing that wipes somebody's memory. And like they reincarnate, then to like wipe them out of existence. They refuse to just... I cried. It was just... Why am I having to like pray and save the people who are stabbing me daily in the astral planes? And then wait. They don't even want to acknowledge they're doing it. Like I'm the liar because they want to be in denial all day long. So we've got a couple grids here on this one. So the main color is lilac, as in I lack in lies. So if I'm sitting there and I'm writing 5 months of emails or Facebook posts to people about my knife rape in the astral planes, it's because I'm an honest human delivering messages. Wake up! So I know this isn't like lilac, like a but it's magenta. So there are a couple flowers. We don't really have a lot of classes here in DAATH. We have one. It's called Connecting the Dots. That's going to be our class. And then we're probably going to have one on vultures. And then we're going to have one on chimeras and cameras. There's a secret teaching for, I think, this color in the chimeras and cameras. We'll see. But then there are a couple of the meditations and the initiation that we have to do. We're not going to build an egg for DAATH. No, we don't build confessor eggs. Not in Kabbalah 99. What we're going to do is we're going to build over the different paths. So we're going to build our Gryffindor egg. We're going to build our Ravenclaw egg. And then we're going to build the temples for Gryffindor and Ravenclaw. And then all this is just Yoda balls, no temple, Rainbow Bridge, no temple, meditations, DAATH, an initiation, okay? Bina, a temple grid, and then Hokmah, a temple grid. And that's where we finish up. some of the Gryffindor stuff at the same time. And then we have Kater, and then we finish up all of Ravenclaw. So at Kater, we also have another temple grid. Okay, so that's it for our personal eggs, and then our temple eggs. And then we're going to do every path. We're just going to do a personal egg, a really quick version, probably like a 3-part thing. And that's the rest of the program. So it's like, yeah, only 3 meditations and then like a really quick activation meditation. That sounds nice. It's different. It's so much different going through the paths because it's going to feel like lightning instead of like soul work, but it's going to be soul work. The real heavy lifting is in like the first part of Kabbalah. The paths are not. The paths are not the same. We are getting the planet to Sora standard so that when we start building the schools, we're not even building like the Hogwarts level dimensional mastery. We're building the 2736 Sora school. So some girl said Kelly has a picture with some girl going like this, and it says bimbo on her shirt, and then there are all the Harry Potter books that she's lighting on fire in like the camp setup. Okay, so she looks angry. She's like, fuck Hogwarts. And I got the message real fast because it's like, this girl is telling me I'm a bimbo like, why do we need Hogwarts? None. Sora. And then we start that, and then we get Cup, and that will be the legit school. So we have Sora, but we also have Sorta. So the Cherubim School, that's like the community college version of the university, is called Sorta. And that's for like the part-timers that are like Seraphim of Ren training academy. So it's like they're sorta in and they're not fully in. So that's the difference between a cherubim and a seraphim. And so this is the same school that the Tara will be the head of, and she'll just be like, because what she does is she'll translate all this crazy spiritual knowledge while having a full-time science job, and she knows exactly how to do it where it will make sense to people and not full-timers like me who's like I'll just starve and make sure that I'm not going to be living in the Matrix anymore. And then those community collegers in Sorta will graduate into Sora, and then it will be easy. And that's how we'll end up doing it. All right. This is gross. Yeah, see our titanium cup? So that was the cup for Ravenclaw. There are a couple inside jokes. Lucifer's like, I don't want to tell him, I want to show him, but we don't have anything to show except for the Netzock cup. When I was in Netzock, we got this cup, and it's just a simple, like, we're going to weave in the DNA, and it's going to be like you with nature, and it looks like a mirror, but it was expensive, and it's really well made. The DAATH cup that kept coming through, the first one was like the same cup, but it had a star, a pentagram on it, but it was 2 pounds. It was like just 2 pounds. And I'm thinking, okay, there's a funny message there, which is talk is cheap. But there's also this funny message. This is the first cup where like actual magic is going to come through. Oh, so that's something. Like, whoa, real magic is going to start coming through DAATH. And then there's this whole other component where it's like the people that get the magic from my DAATH is like the cheap version of me because that's the mirror. So everybody who gets confessed they lose their soul identity and become a cheaper version of me. And like, that's life. So there are a lot of funny inside jokes that come with the magic of DAATH. God. All right. It's life. God. So then we have this. This is the tower. Is this London Tower? The Big Ben? Whatever. And it's kind of on a lilac background. All right, so then we are going to go back and we're going to remind ourselves that the flower or the tree for DAATH is the magnolia. So we like divine timing. And all the magnolias are in bloom right now. And they all are like this color or beautiful white. And you walk through the London gardens and you see these magnificent trees. And you're like, oh my. These are amazing. So this is our starter candle. Go DAATH initiation. There we go. I do it with both. Then it's like 2 birds, 1 stone teaching. Actually, it's actually more like 2 two stones instead. God. And then we gotta clean up the bottom of this lilac candle so it sticks. So now that one-way mirror teaching is kind of irrelevant because it's irrelevant at this point. Like that one-way mirror is like 10 times the one-way mirror, and you're just like, and just confessed like that. You mean you're gonna try to attack me because you think that I'm gross, but you don't want to do any work at all to even verify that as a fact? Or do the work on yourself to see where you're gross? Oh. So this is how you know that the confessor magic doesn't come, it comes through DAATH, but it's not DAATH. You have to be a Hyote and an Or. So this was a magic that came through in need. But I would say the normal magic that would come through in DAATH would be the Moonbeamer. So the Lumos or the Patronus charm magic. That's the normal. All right. For DAATH. Nothing about this ascension on this planet is normal. It's just not. Like, man. But we're it good. And that's all that matters. Is there anything else? I'm hearing the question, do I feel any more knife rape energy anymore? Maybe like once or twice a day for a millisecond, like some weird air pocket opens up and then I feel ick, but it's pretty gone. Today I went on a run or started working out for the first time where I was like, yeah, I can walk without feeling like I'm getting stabbed. So this week has been really good. All right. 1 to initiate, 2 to activate, and 3 to portal it through. And then Hades did a miracle job on the planet and everywhere else. 1 to initiate, 2 to activate, and 3 to portal it through. Boom. $12.99. DAATH. Coloran out.